If you could only have a 50mm VCM RFL series lens from Canon or an 85mm VCM RFL series lens, which one would it be? We're going to figure it out, because if you can only choose one of these, well, we're going to make it a little bit easier for you, or more complicated. But if you can have a third one, if you were rich enough to have both of these, then you're rich enough to have a third. And who would you introduce into the relationship that wouldn't make these two jealous? We'll talk about that. Welcome back to the channel, and today, yes, we're going to be going into my driveway. It's the Jared-tific, scientific type of way I go about showing the tracking and how the look looks with these lenses. And yes, I do own both of these lenses. I bought them with my own money. That's right. And no, I did not go into debt buying these, and neither should you. And that's where I'm here to help you. It's Uncle Jared trying to help you out. So if you can only afford one of these, which one makes more sense? Now, this lens, the 50mm, is less expensive. I believe it's around $1,350, where the 85mm is over $1,600 US. So that does play a little bit of a role, but they are amazing lenses. So we are going to be going into my driveway. We're going to be doing the Jared-tific, tracking of this and seeing which one gives you the look that you're looking for, and which one is like, you know what, maybe I'll save up later for it. And then afterwards, we'll come back in here. I'll give you my final thoughts, because after looking at some of the footage already, I might have changed my mind on a few things that I may mention out in the driveway. And there is a third VCM lens that I am interested in. And yes, I'm going to address the 45 1.2. That's non-L series lens that I did pre-order. But without further ado, let's go to the driveway. All right, we are on the 50mm 1.4 at 1.4, and my ISO is, what is my ISO at? It is at 1250. I'm at ND 4 stops. This is the C80. And so this is what that looks like. And yes, we are wide open on the 50mm. And this is the comparison of the 50mm with the 85 to help you get that look. Now, these are two lenses I own and I absolutely love, and I will not trade one for the other. But if you were in the market for only one of these, this will probably try to steer you into one direction or the other if you can only afford one of them. And I love this lens. The 50mm is so light, the 85 is so light, and they have different purposes. So the 50, you're gonna get a little bit more of the scene in, obviously, because it's a 50mm. It's good for a little bit of environmental. 35 is probably better. 24, you're gonna get a ton in there. The 85, you're gonna see the bokeh in the background is pretty awesome. And this is kind of a testament with the tracking. Now, I'm doing this quickly because we are at the end of day. It is like 32 degrees out here. Bald man's hat is on, and we're seeing how the C80 is tracking. Not bad, not bad. I love the bokeh on this one. So what do you think? Leave a comment below on the 50mm. Do you like this look? It's a great lens. Now the 45mm 1.2 is gonna be released here shortly. I pre-ordered it. I will be comparing it with this 50mm 1.4. What do the optics look like compared, especially since this is like a $1,350, under $1,400 lens, and that is in like a $460 lens. So big difference, but you get 1.2 on the other one. That'll be a good comparison. So if that is something you're interested in, you're gonna have to subscribe, like, and follow this channel, because I will be doing that video moments after I get it. Probably that day, I'll be doing that video. Okay. So here, I'm gonna get out of the scene and then come back in, see how the tracking is. We'll come up a little bit closer here. Yes, the C80 has a bad rap. I don't know why. It has a bad rap. And that rap is something about the tracking. And I find the tracking pretty good on it. Maybe it was the firmware updates, but it's not too shabby. I'm gonna go way out here, because now we'll get an idea of what this looks like. So obviously I'm further away. The bokeh is gonna be a little bit different. It's not as blown out. As I get closer, you're gonna see it start to catch me and blow out more of that background with the tracking. Not too shabby, but for the sake of light, let's get on the 85mm. So exact same settings as the 50mm, and here we are. So white balance is exactly the same. My log curves that I'm using are the same. And here is the tracking. So obviously the 85 does punch in quite a bit more from that 50mm. And so the bokeh is going to be a little bit more creamier, especially when you're close up. This is known as the portraiture lens. So if you are somebody who is doing portraiture work or tight interviews, this might be a better choice, a lot more blown out in the background. I love it. I love the look of this. Let me go to the end of the driveway, see how this tracking is going. And again, I do have to remind all of you, this is not scientific. That's right, it's Jared-tific. So this is Jared-tific, which is very flawed. It has never made it into any of the scientific books out there. It's just, you know, it's whatever I teach my kids and they believe it. But here is that tracking of the 85mm. And the look is actually pretty good. And what do you think of my C-Log 2 grading? I'm going to be doing a video on how I do C-Log 2 grading. So you should subscribe and like for that so you can follow that next video. Because I don't do it typically to the presets of what DaVinci Resolve does. I have learned to create my own S-curve. That was cool, that leaf coming down. ADD, by the way. But I've been doing a different kind of S-curve and then the gamma and stuff, and I just kind of play around with things. It's not perfect, it's not super consistent, but I like it because it's me. I'm unique and special. But let's get out of the shot here. We'll go right here. And here, we'll go right there, back in. Tracking should be very similar to the 50mm. Here, we'll go out here, and I'll even pop in right there too. So look at that. It actually did not catch me here. Oh, there it did. So it is working a little bit harder. Oh, it is not catching. It is working a little bit harder because it does have a further reach on there. Okay, and for the sake of, it is getting darker. So should I go 1 ND lower? Let's do that. So we are still at 1.4, but I changed it. It's ISO 800 and we're only at ND 2. That's right, I can count. So we're at ND 2. I just wanted to change this up a little bit. And that is the benefit of the C80. The C80, to have built-in NDs, to have that flexibility, the triple ISO, base ISO at 800, 3200, and at 12,800 is awesome. Usually I try to not go above that 3200, but at night, if I have to, the 12,800 is actually not that bad. It's pretty clean, especially when doing those video walkthroughs in a home. Let me do one more little trek down here. And not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Again, out of the 50mm and the 85mm, what is my favorite? It's hard. That's why I own both of these. Oh, spam call. I would say if I can only have one of these, you want to know what it is? Oh my gosh, I have an answer for you. It just dawned on me which one I would have. It'd be the 85. Hear me out. We'll have a conversation about this back in my little theater office there. It would be the 85mm because my 45 coming at 1.2 would probably substitute this 50mm, but we're gonna find out. I'm gonna put this against that 45mm and the 50 against the 45, and then I will know for sure. But I have both, and I'm gonna keep both, and I love both, and I love the consistency of the VCM. And unfortunately, the 45 does, you know, retract and goes back and forth with its focusing, and it's not weather sealed, doesn't have the rubber gaskets in the back, and there's just things about it that if you're run and gun and you're in the weather like I am, like we just had a snow flurry just come down. It is cold. I need stuff that is more weather sealed. And that is where these L series glass come in. So you get the 50 1.4 and the 85 1.4, and these are prime. And I know some of you have the 35 and the 24 and even the 20. If you have any of those, sell me on them. Tell me, Jared, you should buy one of those too. Because I wouldn't mind going wider just to complete more of a set, whether it's gonna be the 24 or the 20 millimeter. I don't think I would do 35 millimeter, but maybe. So maybe between 24 and 35, somewhere in there. You tell me which one I should do. But this is it. This is what the 85 looks like. I think it looks creamy, looks beautiful. Compare the two right now. Walking back and forth, what do you think? Do you like the 85 or the 50 best for your look? Now, I said a few things in that driveway that I did not really understand until I looked at the footage side by side. And first of all, I do apologize. The sun was setting, it was a cloudy day, and the lighting was not consistent. So you're just gonna have to take my word for some of these things, but I will tell you that both of these lenses are absolutely gorgeous, but I don't know what you saw, but from what I saw, especially from the editing end of things, the 50mm 1.4 VCM stood out to me more. It actually gave me that more 3D pop look. Now, the 85 does as well, and it could have been some of my framing. This 85, I will not get rid of because it is just amazing for headshots. And you could check out that video that I used this for headshots on my wife. And yes, they actually turned out pretty good, surprisingly, since I'm a architectural photographer, videographer. But this actually did some amazing stuff, and I have to hang on to it. And I will mostly be using this on the photo side of things. Video interview as well. Now, when I am shooting ultra wide with the 10mm Laowa, it is looking awesome, but I put on this 50mm and I can get some nice detailed shots and still show some of that environment in the blown out background. It just looks so good. If you use the 85, nobody can understand what that background is, and that subject is so blown out at 1.4, especially zoomed in at 85, that it just doesn't make a lot of sense. This makes more sense with interview style or headshots. This helps with more of the environment, but guess what? Both of them weigh almost the same. And yes, I know there's gonna be some of you that are gonna judge and critique my C-Log grading, and yes, it's not perfect. I never claim to be perfect. I'm always challenging myself and trying to be better. But with critiquing from all of you, I hope to be a little bit better. And yes, I know that my C-Log 2 grading isn't the best, but I'm improving, and that's what counts. So what do you think of that? I am going to do a little tutorial, and it's going to be a Jared-tific tutorial on how I grade C-Log because I don't do it how you probably should do it. I kind of made up my own stuff, and it's kind of weird, but it'll be fun to watch. You'll like that. If I learned anything with this test, I learned that I actually like the 50mm the best, the 85 second, but both of them serve specific purposes, and I really can't get rid of one over the other. But it will be interesting to introduce the 45 1.2, see what that looks like, and maybe that would be a less expensive route for all of you to go. We will do that in just a few weeks when I get it, in my office. But if this video helped you determine which one of these lenses, if not both of them, then feel free to use the link below, which gives me a little bit of commission, doesn't cost you any extra, and helps out this channel and motivates me to do more of these videos. Oh, and if you're interested in getting into real estate photography and videography, I have a buyer's guide below. It's absolutely free. It goes to links of products that I do recommend on a budget, mediocre, and then getting more expensive if you want to go that route. And yes, I've been saying it for years, but I think my course will be released in the next couple of months, and I'm going to be doing pre-sales. Now, the sale of this course will probably be about $9.95, but my pre-sales will be $4.95, 50% off. I want to cut it down just to get most of you all into the course so we can start working on it together and I can do some coaching with you. So if it is something you're interested in, leave a comment below and download that free buyer's guide. And of course, you don't have to wait till the next video. There's these videos. I'm sure you've missed some of them. They are fun. They're exciting. They're starring me and most of my camera lenses and my cameras. Yes.